those who are paid poverty wages on our campus. And we need to be outraged about that, that a women's college pays women poverty wages is just not acceptable. And I don't think we'll ever rise as a college, really become great as long as we're holding people down and paying these poverty wages.
You work 40 hours a week, that's a lot of hours, and you should be able to support your family without asking for any assistance from anybody else.
A living wage is what people can actually live on. A minimum wage, $5.45, that's not what people can live on. They can't raise their families, they can't have a house, they can't have groceries, they can't have doctor visits, health care. We believe that people deserve all of those things. So we're saying a living wage is higher than that.
Here in Decatur, a living wage base is $14.40. And what we've been trying to do is basically bump up the wages here to get to that $14.40. It was $10.60 an hour base pay. And there are employees here that were getting that $10.60 or that $10.75 that have been working here for over 20 years.
Well, I support a living wage because I'm living it.
Agnes is a Presbyterian college. The Presbyterian Church actually supports a living wage. So no human has the right to withhold any of those materials and resources from other humans. And by not paying a living wage, the college is actually doing that.
We won't have to ask for certain things. It gives me a sense of freedom and a sense of independence. We will be able to be more in control of our own finances. I don't like having to feel needy.
A lot of times people are afraid to speak out, so you won't get a lot of people who will just volunteer to tell you these things. The reason that I'm staying on it is because of me as well as for them.
The lowest starting pay for tenure-track faculty member is twice what a physical plant employee is.
Miss Veronica, she cleans in the dorm. I talk to her every day. And I also talk to Miss Kelly in the dining hall. I talk to her more than I talk to the professors.
You can't confront the issue of a living wage without confronting the need to re-examine our priorities. And when you start talking about that, people dive for cover. And the people who make the most dive the fastest.
They say, oh wow, that's a really great school. It's so beautiful.
It's not a coincidence that Agnes Scott gets movie deals and television deals to shoot TV shows and movies here.
And those are the two things they say, that it's a great school with good education, but also that it's beautiful. And the people that are keeping this campus beautiful are the people who are not paying very much at all.
One of our most prominent figures in queer history is Audre Lorde, and something that she said is there's no such thing as a single issue struggle.
If one is oppressed, we're all oppressed. That's just what it is.
I'm just going to call it out. It was an issue of race for me too. How people treat the staff is how they treat the students. How they treat the people of color that have to cook and clean after everybody. Essentially how they treat the students of color.
And I think it's important for living wage here at Agnes Scott because they want to build themselves to the world as the world for women, and yet we are a big minority of women that they are leaving behind.
The world for women. There's a subliminal text under that. What's the world for white women? It's the world for heterosexual women. I mean, there are all these Christian women.
The connections between women's justice for women and economic justice and racial justice as a woman of color is so huge.
And I'm really passionate about, and I think others should be, about sort of the creation of a new South and a new dynamic around class and around race as we go forward.
Agnes Scott students should get involved with the living wage at Agnes Scott because it's a part of our college's mission. It's stated right there, and I think it's kind of hypocritical for this institution to tell us to engage with the social issues of our time as long as those issues aren't on Agnes Scott's campus.
My experience, my education at Agnes Scott has changed my life. I feel infinitely grateful and privileged that I was able to come here. I think it's really important for other alum because they have had the same privilege I did. We've all been able to come here and get these really incredible educations and learn from each other.
This is the first time that the alums have ever gotten involved as a constituency.
We can turn negatives into positive. The opportunity that's been presented here is outstanding.
Imagining another future and having a new vision where women are taking the lead to say, it's not okay.
As a women's college, we can lead the way as opposed to following. Let's be in the forefront of this thing.
We're busy folks, everybody. We all have full-time jobs and sometimes 2 or 3 jobs, but I think everybody can do something. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies.